Hello everybody, welcome back to the Vintage Workshop. My name is Jeff. Guys, it's been a long summer and a lot of work going on, and unfortunately I didn't have an opportunity to make too many videos, but we're going to start remedying that and get this channel going again. We're getting close to winter. It's late October, and because of that I've got a project that has been sitting around stagnant since the beginning of the summer, and I definitely want to get going on it so that I can use it during the winter. So a little bit of change of pace, but I thought some of you guys would like to see a little bit of metal fabrication work going on. So far on this channel, all we've done is a bunch of woodworking and a little bit of machine restoration. And upcoming, we're going to do some metalworking. I'm going to show you some of the metalworking machines that I have and get those in use so that we can get this smoker finished up, as well as moving on to some other projects that I have had sitting stagnant, like the Yates American bandsaw and the Oliver 159 pattern maker's lathe. So both of those machines are going to be upcoming video series that we're going to do complete restorations on. So I hope you stick around and watch. My wife and I enjoy a lot of smoked meat. We enjoy doing a lot of barbecuing, and the little smoker that I have right now has been fine, but really not up to par for the kind of stuff that we want to move on into making. So what I've decided to do is make a much bigger smoker so that we could do a lot of fish, a lot of fowl. I like to hunt pheasant, and having a bigger smoker and being able to do a lot of different things all at once, as well as for gatherings and family parties and stuff. I have a large family, so I want to build a smoker. What this is, as you see, is a 120-gallon propane tank. It's basically roughly about 66 inches long, 24 inches in diameter. This holds 120 pounds of propane. This has been decommissioned by one of the local propane companies, and I contacted them to see if they had any of these laying around, and they actually did. They had 4 of them. So I bought one. It was very inexpensive compared to going and buying the material brand new. I sourced a piece of tube steel, pipe steel like this with a 1/4 inch wall, which is what this is. And let me tell you, you're quoting numbers close to $700–800. So I paid $100 for this, and obviously it's going to come. You can see the cutouts already. I've done a little bit of work outside prepping this. Today's a rainy day, so I already had this done. There were valves that needed to be removed, so I went ahead and cut them out. I'm going to go ahead and zoom you in so you guys have a better idea of what we're going to be doing right now. So what you're seeing a close-up of is the, as this is used as a propane tank, there were valves in it, and these are the fittings for the valves, and I went ahead and cut 3 of them out. This particular one here is going to be kept. I'm going to use it as just a main drain for clean out. I'll put a pipe plug in there and be able to open it up so that I can wash the smoker out real good after use to keep it clean so it doesn't get rancid. And what I did was I took a piece of 1/4 inch thin plate steel that I purchased, 3 inches thick. I went ahead and cut out the old valves with an angle grinder and a cutting disc. And now we're going to go ahead over to the DoAll bandsaw and cut this into segments so that we can get these welded in, plugged up. This is going to end up being the bottom of the smoker, and right now I just need to plug these up, and then we will flip this over and then start on the fabrication process. So before I go ahead and get started, since we haven't discussed this machine yet, I thought I'd just make mention. This is a metalworking bandsaw. Unlike the woodworking ones, this is specifically designed for slow speed and cutting metals. This is a DoAll. A lot of you guys are familiar with it. This is the old V36 model. These guys are just ridiculous workhorses. I picked this up used a couple years ago from a friend. It was coming out of a factory that was using it to cut mostly plastic, and it was a good buy, so I got it. This is a real heavy bandsaw, pretty close to 3,000 pounds. I think I read the weight at right around 2,750 pounds. It's a 36-inch version, which means it's got a 36-inch throat from the blade all the way to the inside of the upright arm. And it's got 2 speeds, slow and high. I believe top speed on this is about 1,500 RPMs, 1,470 RPMs. So really not designed to cut wood. You could, but really designed to cut a whole bunch of different type of metals, aluminum, brass, bronze, which I'm going to be using it for in my plane making, as well as steel, which is what we're going to be showing you here very shortly. So just thought I'd show you the saw. since we haven't discussed it before. All right, so I got my safety glasses on. I'm going to go ahead and fire the saw up, and we're going to go ahead and cut this 1/4 inch plate steel. As you've probably noticed already, we've got a radius on this. What I did is I took this 1/4 inch plate and I bent it with big heavy duty C-clamps around the outside of the cylinder and of what's going to be the cooking chamber, and that was to form it so that the radius is pretty much matching the radius that's already on the piece of pipe that's there now. Okay, one down, 2 more to go, and then we'll go ahead and take you back over and we'll get this thing welded up. I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of these cuts off camera, and then we'll bring you over and when we got it set up for welding. Okay, so a quick word on safety before I start grinding, cutting, and welding on this tank some more in front of you guys. You need to know that from a safety perspective, this tank was taken out of service by the local propane company. They also blow torch a hole in the end of the tank, basically allowing oxygen to get in, and when I purchased it, I brought it home, I filled it up with water, I actually flushed it out for a couple hours, I had the hose running in it, then I completely drained it of water, then I put, I did 3 1-pound treatments of a TSP solution, trisodium phosphate, which is a cleaner, and basically filling this up again with water with TSP in it, letting it circulate for about an hour, turning it off, draining it, and I repeated that process 3 different times. Then I turned it upside down, got all the liquid and all the gunk and everything that was inside out of it. These things fill up with, I don't know what it is, a chemical engineer might be able to tell you, or a propane expert, but they basically fill up with sort of a slimy sludge in the bottom. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you get all that stuff out. It is definitely flammable, so you got to be safe about this. So you guys don't look at what I'm doing and necessarily automatically think that you can repeat it. You got to take your own safety precautions. I feel very safe now. I've already been grinding and cutting on this to make these 3 holes that we're getting ready to patch. So just a quick word on safety. Be safe, use your head, and make your own decisions about what you feel safe about. Right now, we're going to go ahead and get these cutouts completely welded, get all the rust off of them, and get them nice and clean and shiny metal so that we can go ahead and weld the patches in. When I'm completely finished with this, I'm not going to worry about grinding the entire propane tank, which is going to be the smoker, because I'm going to go ahead and have this completely soda blasted when I'm finished down to bare metal so that I can properly paint it with the necessary paint for smokers. It's a high heat paint. I think it's rated up to 2100 degrees. So just a word on all that. Let's get busy and start grinding. Okay, so I got all the grinding done, and we're ready to weld in these patches. I got them all cut and fit. We're using our old standby, the Millermatic 200, built in 1989, in my opinion, the very best mid-size welding machine you could ever buy. This thing is just a tank. Can weld steel, mild steel up to an inch thick, and just really great duty cycle, the whole 9 yards. So using C25 gas, which is argon and carbon dioxide mix, and I'm going to go ahead and get started here. Don't know how well this is going to turn up on the video. I don't have a special lens for welding, so we'll just have to see how this goes. Right now I'm just tacking them in. I'm going to get all three of them tacked in, and then I'm going to slowly work my way around them so we don't get a lot of warpage. I don't want this cylinder getting all wanky. Alright, we're going to let that cool down, and then we're going to go ahead and grind it. Get it all nice and smooth. It's really hot right now.